What's going on, everybody? This is Tamaya Robles. I'm a credit expert. I am the owner of FixMyCreditNow850.com. I am the host of my podcast, Coast to Coast Credit, and I'm also NAREB High Desert Chapter President out here in Victorville, California. What's good, everybody? So, listen, I want to do a quick video because I remember a couple episodes back, I told y'all that your credit score affects your interest rate and how they work hand in hand. And I had a chart back in the day, and I did a video back in the day with the chart showing you what your interest rate looks like when you purchase a car, when you purchase a home, based off of that credit score range that you may fall under. And I was like, yeah, just go find that video. And I couldn't even find the video. So I found the chart because the chart was old. Like I did this a minute ago and I thought I saved it, but I didn't. But I found it and now I want to share that with you guys. So let's hop on over to this website. Now, I do want to give credit where credit is due. If you go to bankruptcyillinoisattorney.com, you will see this chart. And that's where I got it from even a while back. And what they do is they give credit to credit.org. They give credit, no pun intended. They gave credit and acknowledged the fact that they got this from credit.org. The only reason why I didn't use the chart off of credit.org to be specific is because their chart looks different than this. This is more aesthetically pleasing and to the eye, and it just makes it an easy read. So it helps me to explain things much better. That's all. The only thing that I didn't agree with is the side here on the left, how they list the certain credit score ranges from poor, subprime, and acceptable. That's not that's not accurate. So we'll get into that too. But yeah, so now we're here. So keep in mind, I'm not a mortgage lender. I am not a bank. I don't approve or deny anything. I just dispute your negative items. I fix your credit, how build your credit. But um, I work closely with mortgage lenders. So if you want to get the exact numbers as far as your interest rate is concerned, contact a lender. You can go to Sean, you can go to Ashland. These are lenders that I trust and I support them and vice versa. So this is just general. So don't don't apply for something be like to my you said it was going to be no, that's not what I'm saying. This is a general idea of if you are at this credit score, this is more than likely the interest rate range you will be in. So anyway, let's get into it. So poor credit ranges 300 550, and if you were to apply for a mortgage, your interest rate would probably be around 9.5%. A car loan, you'll be around 18.9%. You'll have high insurance rates, and your credit card APR will be about 28.9%. Now, let's get back here. And if you look here at the fine print, always look at the fine print. They're talking about if you have a home or you're trying to get a loan for around 259,000, that's about what your interest rate will be. There's other factors to it, but overall, this is what your interest rate will be with this type of credit score. Okay. Now, same thing with the auto loan. As you can see here, they're talking about if you have a $13,000 car. That's a hoopty. You know what I'm saying? We all know that's a hoorah right there. But it's just giving you an idea of what it would be. Now, I have a story. I talked about it. Check out my podcast, looking and through the archives, and I will tell you that the longer version of what I'm about to tell you now. But way back when I was married, my then husband wanted to purchase a car, and his credit was so bad that he needed me as a cosigner. So my credit was bad then. This is before I was a credit expert and all that. I didn't know anything about credit, didn't care. But I co-signed for him, and I was also able to prove that the income was we had great income together. But I got approved through Santander. We all know about Santander. I did an episode about that as well. But we got approved. I didn't want to pay any money down, so we walked off the lot, drove off the lot without paying anything down. So we had a car, so we're like, oh, okay, we're balling out in these streets. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, our interest rate was over 20 I think it was like 25% interest rate. We didn't know what that meant or cared. And the only reason why we did realize that, even though we signed the papers without reading, which is something you never do, but whatever, right? They sent us a card like, hey, we see that your interest rate is 25%. We're going to do you a favor. And we caught our quote unquote mistake. And now you just have to pay 18% interest on your interest rate. And we were like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, this is great. I called my father to tell him the good news. And I said, Dad, they dropped me from 25 to 18%. Oh my God, this is great. And he was like, well, that is horrible. He was like, that is still bad. Like, I've all the cards in my life I bought, I never had an interest rate that high with bad credit. Like, no, I'm sorry. So he was like, if you like it, I love it. And I loved it at the time. That was just ignorance. They say ignorance is bliss. I was living a blissful life. Okay. But anyway, this is not a flex. So if you get a car, you get approved for a car, and they're telling you this is what your interest rate is, please don't get hyped. This is bad. This is bad. All right. But also keep in mind, when you're in this area, when you're within this credit score, within this range, you are more than likely not going to be approved for much of anything. And I say much of anything because there are some companies out there that will approve you for a mortgage. They will approve you for an auto loan. Look at me. They give me a 25% interest rate. You will be able to get somebody's insurance somewhere, right? And you will get a credit card. What's the problem? What do you think the problem is? What type of lender do you think that is? Those are called predatory lenders. And what they do is they prey on people that they know have low credit because they know they can hike up those interest rates, and you're going to take the bait because you're desperate. They know that you can't get accepted anywhere. You want a house, you want a car, you want a credit card by any means. And those are the type of companies you actually want to stay away from. If you are desperate, you got to do things and make things happen. This is a judgment-free zone. It is what it is. I get it. But at least if you do wind up in this situation, contact me at fixmycreditnow850.com. Let's talk about how to get you out of that situation, because that's not good at all. Okay. Now we're going to talk about subprime, even though it's not categorized like that in FICO. We're just going to roll with the chart. Now, 550 to 620 is not, in my opinion, it's not bad. You could get things done. It may not be the best deal per se, but at least you have your foot in the door. You understand? So, and you see the slight difference between poor credit and subprime credit. I think they consider this bad credit or something. We're going to look at a real chart in just a moment. But yeah, you see the slight differences. And what they're saying on the side is the best thing you can do to improve your scores, pay down your debts and on-time payments. Now, me, if you've been following me long enough, you know that, I got some other things and other ways you can get things done properly, but not just paying down your debt on time. You want to pay it early, but whatever. And there's other tricks, but at least you get your foot in the door. It's not necessarily that you'll be open to predatory lending. You will just be you won't be able to get the best deals. That's all. Now you're going into what they're saying on this chart, acceptable credit. You see how the interest rate is dropping as the credit score increases. This is good. This is better. You're able to negotiate here on this. You know what I'm saying? You're able to sit at the table and eat with the big boys. You feel me? Or at least the mediocre boys, because then you have the good credit and the excellent credit. And then there's a noticeable difference. Now, if you're like, you know what, I don't really care, blah, blah, it's not that much of a difference. Here's the difference. The difference is these different interest rates could be saving you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. That's why it's important to fix your credit. Now, I told you I was going to keep it short and sweet. So let's look at this chart. Now, this actually came from Experian. So if you go to Experian.com, again, I'll send you the link, then in the description. So you'll see the proper wording for each credit score range. So it goes to poor, fair, good, very good, and exceptional. or you might see excellent. What the other chart was saying, I have no idea. That I never heard of that before. Maybe that was just their particular chart. So same thing, credit score between 300 and 579 is considered poor. Fair, 580 to 669 is fair. Now, again, I'm not a lender, but talk to a lender, but I am fully aware that a lot of mortgage lenders are approving, you're getting good rates at the same time too. Is if you're at a 550 or more, again, double check with the lender, but it is possible. However, if you want the absolute best rate, get your credit score as high as possible, because once you get into good and very good and excellent, then your interest rates are extremely low. You especially if you're applying for a credit card, you can go into they just wanted stated income as opposed to verifiable income. You get more freedom when you have a higher credit score. Okay. Now, real quick about the differences between a 740 to 850. Now, a 750 and 850 across the board is identical. So if you're at a 750, you don't have to bust your ass to try to get 850. The difference between very good and acceptable is literally age. That's it. That's all. I know plenty of people that have been paying their cards down perfectly. They're paying early. They're following everything, and then they're like, "Blow to Maya. I don't understand why I'm not in 850s," because you're not aged. So you want your credit history to be beyond 7 years. Okay. They're talking 10, 15, 20 years to get into this range. So if you're not there, don't stress it. The interest rates aren't going to be that big of a difference. Now, if you're at a 740, if you're at a 735, like you're okay. Like, don't freaking stress it. You're good. Okay. All right. So hopefully this was beneficial. Hopefully it gave you guys like a clear understanding of the importance of having a good credit score and the importance of an interest rate and how it can make a difference in how much you're paying every month. So, and your approval status, your credit worthiness, this is all tied in. So, if you need to increase your credit score and you're trying to buy a home and you know you already have a low credit score, you don't need to talk to a lender, just schedule a consultation with me, get your credit fixed. Get it fixed yesterday. I'm telling y'all, I'm about to do another video for y'all. I'm getting mad deletions crazy very quickly, very, very quickly. All right. So hop on that bandwagon. But in the meantime, you guys, I wish you the best of luck in your credit journey. Talk to you.